Hi, it's me again, Norm. I'm in the kitchen that I designed and built for this house. I think it's an interesting kitchen. I'd like to show you some of the details. My company I built this in 2012, as you can see. Anyway, this is a two-tiered cutlery setup where you can put your grandma's silverware down here and your everyday above. Pretty handy dandy. And these wonderful poles. Now you might look at all these poles and say, where on earth did you get those, Norman Palmer? Well, you can't find them anywhere on earth except here in this house. I guarantee it. I made 50 of these, and I'm not going to tell you how I did it because it's a secret, but just know that they are unique to this house. 50 copper poles. So let's talk about some of the details in the kitchen, okay? Well, we're focused on the stove here. Well, let's look at this giant, deep skillet drawer. I mean, this is serious. That's a heavy-ass skillet, you know? You don't want to get your wife mad at you if you have one of those in the house. And then this is, of course, another pots and pans, so you're handy-dandy. If you like me, I grew up in a house that had a bread drawer with a cover. All right, so of course I had to have one of those, but mine kind of self-closed. My mother's didn't, okay? Lots of drawers. Everybody needs a lot of drawers, but not everybody has a lot of these little cool little flip downs, which are very handy for all your, lots of little brushes. Need a lot of brushes when you're cleaning a kitchen, okay? So then this little cabinet and this little cabinet kind of relate, okay? These three cabinets relate. Here is a trash can. Here is a trash compactor. And here is a recyclable trash. Now you're thinking, where does it go? Well, that's what my wife says. It just disappears. So anyway, you got compacted trash fits down there. Newspaper and all that kind of stuff like magazines and envelopes and credit card deals go down that one. Glass and plastic go down there. And they just disappear. And I'll show you that later, but they go into recycle bins. So that's kind of how that works. And then, well, then there's your smelly garbage that you like, you know, your composted stuff like carrot peels and lettuce and whatnot. That goes in here. And you just put it in there, and then when it's all full, you grab this little handle, you take it out, and do your due diligence, and put it in your compost pile out there by the garden, which it's an organic garden, so you want to create your own soil, right? Right. Of course you do. Put that back, clean it out, put it away, safe and sound. Now this is kind of nice because you got a corner, and you think, that's a lot of wasted space, but they make hardware nowadays where you have access to all that cool wasted space, right? So that's nice. And there's a lot of different techniques you can do to do that, but this was the one that I chose. What else is in this kitchen that's cool? Oh, yeah. So this is kind of a cool spice rack area for all your spices. So if you grow herbs, cilantro, dill, oregano, sage, rosemary. You put it in little jars, dry it, put it in here. It's cool, it's dark. That's good. Appliance garage, that's not so uncommon. And then here's some Lazy Susans for all of you people who like that sort of thing. I love it. Now, since we have works of art that we like to display, everybody has their own knickknacks and version of. A lot of shelf space, glass shelves with spotlights for shining on some of your favorite crystal or what have you. And then up yonder is more tiered shelf space that's lighted and backlit for artwork or sculpture if you have sculptures. What's over here? Oh, well, you know, take a look at this marble top and see how it is book matched. And I have a little story about that marble. It's Breccianicata marble. Okay, this is 3/4 of an inch thick marble, and a little story behind all this marble. It was in somebody's backyard in one of the neighboring counties. Turns out he was a tile setter. And he was a tile setter at the Tyson Corner Macy's, where they were putting this exact tile on the floor in Macy's Tyson Corner. He ended up with all the castaways. You know, you order 20%, you throw it away. He didn't let it get thrown away. But 15 years later, his wife said, "Get it out of my yard, would you?" Okay, so I come along with, with a penny saver or the Craigslist, and now it's Facebook Marketplace. And I bought all of it. I had piles of it, and I just bought it all so that I would have enough. Guess what? I only had 4 pieces left by this project was done. 4 pieces left. Okay, that's Mr. Efficient Norman Palmer, right? So the floor is a pattern in and of itself. So I checkerboarded it, right? But the countertop, when I laid all these tiles out, I was able to find grain that matched. So I chose those for the counter. Now, all of you people who understand marble know that marble will scratch and etch. And why do you want it on your countertop? Well, I countered that by, so to speak, I acid etched all the marble before, so it lost all its gloss, and you can run a piece of pottery across it. I don't think I have any here. Yeah, you can run a piece of pottery across it, and it won't scratch because you can't see it because it's etched. But you have to seal it, of course, so tomato and onion and lemon and etc. doesn't cause rings and things. So that's how this all came about. And this wonderful brass sink came from a job in McLean, Virginia. Thank you, Tony and Carol Corso. Came out of their house, and they did not want it because of the maintenance. Now, I've countered that by allowing the splash to remain and patinate the brass. And then I take Barkeeper's Friend just in the bottom to give it the shine to kind of match the countertop. Excuse me, did I say countertop? I meant faucet. So that's how that kind of comes into play. Or you can be as fussy as can be and keep it shiny all the time. It's all your own preference. Oh, let's see what's down below here. Okay, another one of those nice handles. Oh, this is nice. And the good thing about this is a baker's height countertop. This is 3 inches lower than the rest of the countertops in the height, so you can knead bread comfortably. And of course, this is one of those KitchenAid heavy buggers, and it's kind of a nice way to stow it away. What have we here? Some vegetable baskets. That's pretty cool. Vegetables now. What's in here? Oh, you're mixing stuff for making. Oh, now this is kind of neat. Gotta say, this is kind of neat. Look at this. Wow. This is 100 feet of hose, so we can water plants from one end of the house to the other, because we have a lot of indoor plants. You know, healthy air and all, plus my wife's got a green thumb, and I've got a green thumb, so I wanted to make it easy to water things. Didn't you appreciate that, my dear? Say yes loudly. No, say yes.
Yes.
Oh, you are saying yes. I get it with the camera. Awesome. All right, what's going on? I've got a little stuff just jiggling around. Close. Okay. Ta-da. Cleaning closet. Everybody has a cleaning closet, a place for the central vac hose, and everything else you need to clean a house. What? She's pointing to something, I'm not sure. What are you saying?
Drop zone.
Oh, the drop zone. Yeah. So when you come in, you know, you take your keys and your ink pen and your stuff. You come in, you put your phone here, plug it into the charger and stuff like that. It's a drop zone. Mail. Get on with your evening. And a little place to store stuff. And under here is a place to feed your cat or your dogs. Oh, what's that? Oh, now this is the place to kind of like, let me get the right thing out. Let's see if I can do this. All right, so like, what's your name? Oh, Peggy. Welcome, Peggy. You can do that, you know? Every time you have some guests by. Or you can put your menu up here. And you can, what's that? You can hide your keys back there. Oh, go like this and look at this. Ooh, really? The back of a door? Get out of here. Really? Okay. Now, the other thing is, we thought about maybe making clear glass doors so you can see everything that's in your doors, behind your doors. That's kind of cool, but then you have to kind of like be religious about keeping your door contents, your cabinet contents organized. So I made it dark glass so that it kind of works with the black appliances. And then you don't have to keep everything neat and tidy inside there. So this is the kitchen. It has a lot of uplighting, space for storage, a TV to watch if you want, to see, if you want to watch it from the eating zone. Butcher block, oak. Don't you dare ever cut on this. You take your cutting boards out of this great big cutting board compartment, and use those to cut on. All right? Promise me that. And then, of course, keeping your towels out of the way is important. And you go, wait a minute, Norm, what's that button right above there? Well, that, as you can see, lights up. And that's to call the butler. No, I'm just kidding. That's not to call the butler. That activates a pump, a circulating pump, that pushes the cold water out of the hot water line back to the water heater. And in, 20 seconds to a minute, you have hot water at each faucet in the house. Hot water. So basically you're not having to run the shower in the morning, go pee, come back, and the water's finally hot, and you've wasted 5 gallons, 10 gallons, or whatever of water. That's a very energy efficient feature. Thank you, Frank Gilbreth. Oh, look at that. Okay, that's cool. Gotta always have ventilation system for when you're cooking. And I didn't want to have a hood here. That didn't make sense. So that works. And up here is what I thought might be a pot hanging system, but it turned out to be just an interesting pergola of copper, and you could still hang pots from that, making pot hangers out of bent wire and whatnot. So what do you think? A lot of interesting features here. Big skylights. Looking at the clouds when you're sitting here watching the cook. So I hope you've enjoyed the details. A lot of details of the kitchen. It's a lot to see. And it was very fun making it. There is one more thing I didn't tell you about. And that is the copper leaf inlay on all the doors. This is copper leaf, embossed copper with varnish over it. It's a laminate product, used commercially mostly, and it works with all the copper, and copper is very good for you. It's antibacterial, good energy. It's electromagnetically ties you to the earth. So thanks for watching this one.